Today I'm going to start a sweet baking series. So I'm going to show you guys how to create with puff pastry two different fillings. So the one filling is going to be with apple. And the other filling is going to be with custard and raspberries. Okay, so to start off, we're going to make the apple filling. You can use whatever apples you have, what your favorite is. I'm always one of those ones who make what I have available. So this is the apples that I have available. You can cut it in cubes if you want to. You can cut it in slices if you want to. Whatever your preference is. So we only have one puff pastry. I'm going to divide it in half between the two desserts. Okay. As you can see, I do have a container. So if there's left over, you can still put it in the container and you can still put it into the fridge and use it for another occasion. And here we have 1 cup of brown sugar. One teaspoon of nutmeg. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. It will all add in together. And then we're going to put it up onto the stove. Okay. So we're going to cook this until it's soft. This is just my version. Some people have a different version. They might use the apple and cinnamon mix as it is here. And then they're going to add it onto the puff pastry. But I like to have a nice saucy with mine. So that's the reason of why I cook it up. Okay. Then I'm going to add 100 ml of water. And leave that to boil until the apples is nice and soft. So now, while the apples are getting cooked, then we're going to do the custard filling. Okay, so we're going to do 250 milk. And then here the custard powder, what I mixed up with sugar is 2 tablespoons of custard with 2 tablespoons of sugar. All right. So then I'm going to mix it up. With 4 tablespoons of milk. Right. So now we get the milk into the pot. We're gonna add a tablespoon of butter. And let it all melt. Okay. Starting to bubble. Right. Take your whisk and then we add it in. While you add it in, you whisk it. As you can see the consistency, it needs to be thick. Right. Then we put in a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And that's it. That's your custard. Your custard is done. You guys, gonna dish this out. I'm gonna put it in the freezer so it can cool down. To make the raspberry filling that's gonna go with. It's frozen raspberries. I always have frozen. This is 30 ml of caster sugar that I threw in, and then I mix it with the raspberries. You coat the raspberries a little bit. Okay, and pop it into the microwave for about 3 minutes. We're gonna on and off, check how it's going. So it's still a little bit hot, so it's still boiling. Just gonna put white vinegar, just a tablespoon of it. So that can still cook. Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, we are going to cut it in half, and the one half we're gonna bake for the custard filling. Custard and raspberry filling. Okay. So we're gonna make circles, cut circles. Use our cook and spray. If you have baking paper, you may use baking paper to put underneath. There we go. And then we put a wash on top. Go, and we pop it into the oven. Oven. Guys, this is how your apple should look. So I'm going to add it into a container and pop it into the freezer. Here we go. Needs to be cold. Otherwise, you cannot just put it like that onto the puff pastry. It has been 10 minutes. Right. So we're putting it on the side. and waiting for it to cool down. Right. So now we're going to cut it. To squeeze. Take off the apple on one side. Just nice decent amount of apple sauce and everything. And then you just fold it over. Close it with a fork. As you can see, I'm showing you two different ways that you can fold the puff pastry. There we go. Back into the tray. Still got some of our egg left over. There we go, just like that. Just making sure that all the sides are closed. And then we pop it in the oven. So now guys, this is all cooled down. So we cut it open. This is now nice if you're gonna have people over and you're just making something quick and fast. If you have the full pastry, you may make the full pastry and you can make it bigger. Then you make like a sandwich. You fill it with custard. You fill it with raspberries. If you love strawberries, you can use strawberries. If you love blueberries, you can use blueberries. Anything that you prefer. Just put a nice decent amount. And there's no perfect way of doing it.
How much it was cost?
I literally actually just bought the puff pastry that's about 30 rand. Everything else was at home. Okay, so here's some icing sugar. Then we just sprinkle it. Some icing sugar. Doesn't that look nice? That's it. And it can be enjoyed. Here we go.
It's very nice. That's this other one too. This is very nice. Guys, please make it and then let us know how it went out for y'all. Oh, very good.